I got to feel like, you know, one of these new motherfuckers the other day.
Yeah. Nah, you right about that, because back in the days, they was playing instrumentals, and you had to really know your shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It was just, I think it was more prideful. It was more prideful as far as the music was concerned. It was more work ethic. In today's, you know, era, you could just, like you said, you play your shit, and, you know what I'm saying, you play the audio with the whole song, and then you just hyping it up from the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My shit is that my whole problem with that is that people accept it. Like, you see people in the crowd going nuts with motherfuckers, you know, like, they're not even singing the song. They're singing the song for the artist.
Yeah.
And it's acceptable. If I spend that kind of money for a ticket and I got to sing your song for you, I'm a little upset. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to hear the artist be able to belt out the song. That's like, you know, going to see like someone like, let's say, Beyonce, who could sing her ass off.
We want to hear them vocals.
We want to hear them vocals. And then, you know, if she came out, which she never does, want to say that, because I've seen her 3 times, and every time she was singing her shit while dancing. There was no lip syncing. There was no extra vocals in there. She was doing that shit.
That's dope.
So when you pay for that Beyonce ticket, she's giving you that show. And she ain't gonna cheat you, you know what I'm saying? Where you go to maybe another show and she might, another, you know, female might be lip syncing half this fucking set. Some of it she might sing, but other stuff, there's supplemental vocals in there to help her get through the fucking song. And I mean, I get it. But, like, you know, as an artist, you're supposed to be delivering that.
Yeah, that's really I can't stand that shit, honestly. When I go to a show and I hear that the same vocals in the background, it makes me think, like, can dude perform? Can he, like, what's his voice sound like for real? Like,
hey, that's why there was this producer in Germany or somewhere out there, right? He was one of the ones with that produced Milli Vanilli. He would find people that were images that really couldn't sing, and then put decent enough singers and other musicians around them to try to get it off. And they would do videos and just put out records, but he would tell them never to do performances, never, like, we don't want these records going to the States, and we don't want you performing any of this shit, because the minute they start to try to perform it,
it didn't sound the same.
It doesn't sound the same. And the perception and the magic is blown up.
Yeah, that happened a lot in the 80s, actually.
Yeah. I just seen a Fat Joe performance. He's playing the music with the old lyrics, and his old lyrics is like smooth.
And he's yelling.
He's like, yeah, like all this shit on top of each other. It don't sound right. Like one or the other, man.
One or the other. No, absolutely. And Joe's the homie. I love Joe. But I noticed that in the last couple of his shows is that, like, he did have track popping off, and like you said, when he recorded it this way.
Like, if you're gonna do that, try to match the vocal and try to be right there synced up, like boom, like killing it. You know?
Yeah,
I did a Nipsey Hussle show before, Banging Peace off the first and foremost. But I did a show for Nip. He had me come out, and I had to memorize my verse because he had the band playing.
Yeah.
And it was like and I only had probably like 48 hours. Oof. But it was one of the hardest things in the world to accomplish. But when I pulled it off, I was like, that's dope.
It felt great, right?
People love it.
Dope.
And people went nuts for that.
Appreciate that.
And it just kind of like fucked me up that he just performed 15, 12 songs in that way. You feel me? Like he knew all this shit, and that shit just like real artistry. I fuck with that.
Because I think some of these guys ain't like trying to be real artists. They're going with that whole shit that the record companies have now programmed everybody to accept, which is an image and a personality over the skill and talent of an actual artist.